Warning! Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT time. PGT time. Tune in on PGT time. PGT time. Come join us on PGT time. PGT time. Join us on PGT time. PGT time. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, it's your girl, the Missus with the kisses, baby. Mwah. Well, you can call me Miss Peachy, because that's what everybody else call me anyways. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. Saginaw, Michigan. Baby, y'all better stand up. Y'all better stand up. Y'all better come on through. Do you hear me? Come on through, baby. Because we got a show for y'all tonight. Okay. Now, usually on Wednesday, we have the families that come on. Everyone knows that. Well, every Wednesday, we have a family that come on and tell their loved one's story on how they was murdered through gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, the police. Y'all know we do the missing person cases and also suicide cases just as well. Okay. But tonight is a little different. Okay. I know y'all like, why she smiling like that? I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. Anytime I get the chance to have another person come on that's doing almost the same thing, if not better, if not, just a little different from here or a little different from there. I'll be all the way excited. Shout out to Jessica Dupnack when she came on the show. She's an journalist as well, and she works for the news in Detroit. She came on. Y'all know how excited I was about that. And baby, I'm just as excited for our guest that we have tonight. Okay. So before we get started, baby, before we bring him up, which is Mr. Ryan, before we bring him up, y'all know I gotta bring my peoples. I gotta bring my peoples up, which is Charlotte, not Charlotte, Charlotte. That's French. And also Jason. Here they is. Here they go. Should we give him the doorbell? We're gonna give him two. One, two.
Yes, we.
Hey,
We, we.
right? I'm
Now,
trying to be fancy. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
You know Charlotte
Oh, my
is a little
goodness.
fancy over there.
Oh,
Yes, and it's crazy because when I say her name, it's like I gotta lift my shoulders up. Charlotte.
that is crazy work. I dig it.
Okay.
I dig
Okay.
it. Hey,
Well,
how y'all doing, man?
yeah. Welcome, welcome. It's the
We
new
are
week.
good. We are good. How you doing, Jason?
I'm well, man. My mom is in town right now, so You know, she
Yay!
chilling with us.
Yay!
It
Tell
is.
mommy,
She got
hey, hey,
right. She got
mommy.
the children up there.
Shout out to mommy. She gets a hand clap.
Right. Shout out to the Dukes. Mon Dukes in the building. You heard? But no,
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful time. And then it's abnormally warm here in Minnesota right now. Like real abnormal. So
Ooh,
like I'm
What
talking
is
80,
abnormal
like
in Minnesota?
90s. Like 90s
Oh,
right now.
wow.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all in the 90s.
Yeah. Muggy. Like it's all that. It's all that. So
Okay,
yeah,
good
just had to
summer
I
let
know that's
southern weather.
amazing.
Yeah, some
you
good
know,
old
Yeah,
but
we've
it's
been
supposed
southern.
to
like
cool
that
down now.
this
It's
summer.
going tomorrow's gonna drop to about the 60s. It's about a good 30-degree swing. You know what I mean?
You hear what I said, Jason?
I know I missed it.
I said we've been in the 90s since the beginning
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
summertime.
Sheesh. But not it's
Everywhere.
supposed to be like we coming up on fall though, man. Can we switch that up real quick?
No, not for us. Not for
Nah,
us.
that's
I
all
got
right.
my boots
Georgia
on
is
ready.
very hot.
My boots are on ready. I'm ready for the fall. We're
There we
ready.
see. There we go. I
We're
am too. I'm
ready.
not gonna
I don't
lie.
want cold. I didn't say winter. I said fall.
Say, come
I'm
on
ready for hoodie
now.
season. That's what I'm ready for. I just went to Foot Locker today. I got my second paycheck today.
Sweater weather.
So I
Sweater
went
weather.
to Foot Locker
Okay.
and got me some new tennis shoes, baby. Some all pink Air Force Ones. They are so cute. And then I bought me a hoodie to go with it. So,
Okay.
but I can't wear the hoodie just yet.
Too hot.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
little
hot as hell.
warm.
It's hot here. Yeah, it's hot
Now,
here. You don't even
literally
want to wear
though,
it here.
in the morning time though, when I leave the house about 5 o'clock, 5:10, and it's cold outside. So,
She's not
but
lying.
by 8 o'clock,
It's
hmm,
hot.
Well,
yeah.
speaking of cold places, I'm feeling like the coldness is over on Roku because I don't nobody over there. Ain't nobody telling us that they're over on Roku right now.
Mama
So
Peach ain't here yet. You know, Mama Peach be the one
Mama Peach
saying
tell
that
us right.
I'm over
So with
here.
that being said, what I need y'all to go do, man, is to go ahead on over and grab us on all the platforms. That's right, we're live on several different Facebook pages. Not only that, we're live over on Twitch and Instagram. So if you're not liking or have followed on those platforms, why don't you go ahead and do that real quick, and then make sure you come back and say something in the comments. Any platform, we will be putting that up on the up on here in front of you, right? Like Loria Perez, she says, "Clock it," right? Because I think she's ready for sweater weather too as well. She's ready for the sweater weather.
Okay.
Shout out to all of our people that's ready for the sweater weather, you know. But not only that, please make sure that you go ahead and follow us over on Roku. So if you have a Roku enabled device and or TV, all you gotta do is go search the exact same space you look for Roku, not Roku, but Paramount, Hulu, Netflix, the same places you download those apps. You're gonna download PGT Time, and that's time spelled with the YTYME. This is how you're gonna search for us. Not only that, you can go watch previous shows that we've played or put together. So we're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with some Saturdays and other random days in there. But if you're looking for a particular show and you want to watch it, you can go to Roku TV to do so and or YouTube to do so. All right.
There.
All right, all right. You know, Jason does such a good job with those spills and everything. Thank you. Hi, Loria, girl. I see you out there. Smooches, smooches. I want to say something before we bring up our guest. I thought long and hard for probably about a good 5 minutes if I should say what I'm finna say. Really, for real. I really
5.
thought 5 minutes, and it was a hard 5 minutes that I thought if I should say what I'm finna say. But I said I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You know, give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
Regardless of the situation at hand, regardless of whatever have happened in the past, always give credit where credit is due. Ain't that right, Miss Charlotte, the counselor lady? Exactly. Now, Jason probably finna bust out laughing when I say this. So, Jason, if you want to hold your head down and like you don't hear me what I'm finna say, that's fine. That is so fine. So, yes, that's coming up, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan, when I say that there was a part of me today for them 5 minutes, that I literally thought about somebody. And that's somebody I felt like I deserve. I had to shout them out. Okay. I had to shout them out. Gloria, I got to shout them out, Gloria. So, with that being said, I must shout out Bernardo with his raggedy ass. Excuse my language. I couldn't just say his name, just leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows, I know we don't like each other no more. But the people that have been watching PGT Time since day one, y'all know about Bernardo. Okay, Bernardo used to be on PGT Time and all that stuff. And one thing about Ryan that stood out to me, which was what Bernardo used to do, and Bernardo used to ask me, he used to tell me, I'm gonna get you a media pass. Now, how you gonna get a media pass for me down there in Indiana for here in Georgia? I don't know. But I told him I don't need no media pass because I ain't even go to no scenes, no crime scenes, okay? So shout out to Bernardo. He used to go to the crime scenes all the time, all the time. And I always used to give big ups to him for doing that because it takes when I say it takes a person that really, really love what they do to do something like that, baby, I ain't got no choice but to applaud them. But to applaud them. So with that being said, baby, it is time for our guest to get the doorbell. The baby, he be at them crime scenes too. Shout out to Saginaw. Here we go. Mr. Ryan is in the building. And there go his doorbell.
Hello. How you
Yes.
guys doing?
Hey, Mr. Ryan. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We are wonderful. We are wonderful. Well, I'm wonderful. I'm just trying to speak for everybody else. I'm wonderful. Yes. So we got Jason up here, who is my co-host for Wednesday nights. We have Charlotte here, who is the counselor lady, just as well. And I was gonna tell Charlotte that she can have tonight off because we don't have a family. But then I thought about it. I said, she's a counselor lady. And one thing that I would love for Charlotte to talk to, not just you, Ryan, but to me just as well, about towards the end of the show, um, about what we do.
Okay.
It's constantly looking up crime. Jason only comes on Wednesdays, and Charlotte only comes on Wednesdays. But me and you, Ryan, it's the everyday thing. Like, even
Yeah.
if I'm not doing the show, I'm still on my phone looking up crime videos, and I'm either posting them on my page or I'm just looking them up just to see if I can find a guest just as well. So, Charlotte, I definitely want you to, talk to me and Ryan towards the end of the show. Just give your take on the both of us. And if you have any tips for us, just as well, we would definitely be more than glad to take it in. Okay.
Definitely.
All
Most
right.
definitely.
Thank you, girl. All right, Ryan. We are about to get this show started, baby. We are about to get it started. You are here with us tonight because of the great job that you do on Facebook. I don't know if you're on all the other platforms because I only watch you on Facebook. But when I tell y'all, Ryan, he does his thing. I'm going to pull up Ryan's page and bring it up on the screen. And there's a reason why I'm doing that because I want you all to see exactly what Ryan does. Okay, so we're gonna switch it up like this and put it up there. Everybody should be able. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, now everybody should be able to see it. Breaking news 989. Of course, I know what breaking news 989 is, Ryan. Even the number is 989. I know what that is because
Right.
I am from Saginaw. So, can you please let everybody know right now that's out there watching what is breaking news 989?
So I consider it the local news source. I do cover other areas, but my biggest coverage area I would say is Saginaw County, mainly the city of Saginaw, but I do cover Saginaw County and then various cities in Michigan. But I am the usually first on scene of ongoing things, and it could be good things, bad things. Unfortunately, I've been to quite a bit of tragic situations, but I usually am there first, sometimes before the police, and I just try to give uh, a unedited, uncut, exactly what's happening without me trying to change anything. I want people to see it like how I'm seeing it through my eyes,
Mm.
without disrespecting people too. So, I don't always know what's going on. Sometimes I try to find out, but sometimes I'm learning just as much as you're watching it live. So I just kind of figured there wasn't a lot of coverage here, so I definitely something randomly. I guess I started. It wasn't thought about. It just kind of randomly happened. I guess you could say.
Which I feel like is all guys doing. Um, I come from Saginaw, and I'm just gonna, be blunt, speak it what it is. And everybody that knows me from Saginaw, they know that's how I am. Um, in our black community, I'm gonna start with that. There's a lot of crime. It didn't just start. This has been going on ever since I can remember as 12 years old. Coming to Saginaw. A lot of times I was dodging bullets, because I wanted to be out, going to the parties, going to the little hall parties, because back then we was doing halls, or even after a basketball game, it was shooting going on. People were getting killed. So it's not that it just started. So I applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you. I applaud you because I definitely feel that when you put it out there in the forefront, it could possibly make a difference. So thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart and from my people's heart just as well for what you're doing because you are taking a risk each and every time that you're out there in those streets doing live coverage like that. So I thank you. Now, Ryan is sitting there. I know y'all see that. Ryan is sitting at 136,000 followers. 136,000 followers. Now, y'all probably think those 136,000 followers just love Ryan. No. Ryan, Ryan, he gets it. Just like I get it too from time to time. But Ryan gets it too. Because it's been times where I've been on your page, Ryan, and I just wanted to just cringe because some people just be so angry at what you do. But you have way more people that loves what you're doing, respects you for what you're doing just as well. And I am one of those people. Just as well. I want to make sure I say that I am one of those people that love Ryan. Ryan, I've been talking about you for a while now on Peachy Tea Time before I even reached out to you. I've been talking about you on my show, and you had no idea. But yes, I have.
Well,
So
thank you. I
you
appreciate
are
that.
so welcome. You are so welcome. Now, the first time I saw you was you was live at a crime scene. Tell us, take us all the way back. Like, what made you start doing this?
Um, I'll be honest. I was on a bad path myself. So in 2019 is kind of where my journey started and ended, I guess you could say. So I got hooked on opiates for a long time, and I ended up making some bad decisions. I ended up in the same place that I cover a lot of times, in the jail. So I ended up in the old jail, which recently was demolished. I ended up being in there so long, I did almost a year in there. I got transferred to the new jail. Um, so I can kind of feel, I kind of speak on the truth, like what I've been through. I made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in life. So I realized that I wasn't going to put myself in the same predicament that I did before once I got out, and so when I got out, I had a hard time trying to get my kids. So I went through a long custody battle, which I still go to this day. I don't get what I want. And so I created social media as a way to help me not deal with like being depressed and just, you know, kind of dealing with what I had to deal with. So actually, my first social media page wasn't Breaking News 989. It was actually Fun Things to Do in Michigan. So if you
Wow.
actually look up that on Facebook, I have 100 over like 105,000 members on there, and I created that to kind of give people just something to do, fun, you know, free events, just give people ideas. And then I don't really know what caught me to do Breaking News 989. It was more, I would say, random. I covered it was a it was a shooting actually. It was probably my first time I think I remember covering it. I did cover I think a fire or two before that, but I think the big one was the shooting, and I had realized like a lot of people wanted to see what was going on. They didn't want to get the 5 o'clock news. Hey, you know, we find out hours later. They wanted to kind of get informed right then. So in my eyes, I didn't like how the news was. So I kind of thought about it like, how can I give it to the people without swaying any stories and providing accurate information? So I started to do it more, just covering things. And even like some of the bigger media stations said, I changed the way the news is. It's more on demand, instant as it happens, instead of waiting for 5, 6 o'clock to get an update. And, you know, I realized like I've caught the attention of a lot of families that also have been affected. So some of these families, you know, whether it's their son, their daughters, their mom, their dad, you know, they have unfortunately seen a lot of these things, but they realize I don't disrespect anybody. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of bad situations. I
Hmm.
don't post any of that. I don't record any of that. Um, I've seen families pull up to the scene where, you know, the families tragically lost the person, and I had to hear them crying and dealing with it. And it's hard on me. I'll tell you, it's not easy because I don't even know these people, and I could see how it's tragically affected them.
Exactly.
So, you know, my duty as what I created was just to report what was going on, but in a respectful way. So I just kind of, not saying I haven't ever made mistakes, in doing this, but I learned a lot. And, even some of the families have reached out afterwards and, kind of thanked me for covering things. Unfortunately, there has been some tragic events, but, I don't create what happens. I just report on it. So I just kind
Exactly.
of stuck with it. And I seem to get a lot of people that trust me. So my number one thing was reliable sources, reliable information. So I try to put out accurate as possible, and I don't sway the scenario like some people may report something happen and then they'll point it in a certain direction. I just want to report accurately, and then let people whatever input they want to put on it. That's fine, but it's definitely been a journey, but I'm glad that I'm able to provide information for a lot of people, and also good things. I try to post positive things as much as I can too. I work a regular job, so it's not my 9 to 5 job, but I definitely I like to cover a variety of things. If I could cover all good, I definitely would.
I was
Exactly.
gonna ask that. I was gonna ask if you had a regular job. And then how do you get like how are you first on the scene? How do you get your information? How is it that you're able to get there to be able to get that eyewitness on most of the things that are happening around you?
So I kind of I always tell a magician never reveals his secrets. Um, you
Exactly.
know, and I say that because I honestly, people don't realize I do put a lot of time and effort into this. Even if you only see a few things happening, I mean, I probably put 50 plus hours in this a week. And sometimes I know what's going on in our city. I've been here my whole life, and kind of like you said earlier, Saginaw had. is not just worse than it was back then. I think the biggest thing now is social media has pushed it so you see it instantly. If I'm
Exactly.
not recording it, there's 10 other people there recording it. So the information gets out there instantly instead of, it may hit the news, it may not. Because a lot of these incidents that I go to don't ever hit the news.
Nope.
I can't say for sure, why they pick and choose certain stories to cover. I just kind of put as much as I can out there, but I can say that a lot of the mainstream medias don't put it out there, and I don't know why. I can't really say, I can't speak for them, but I think people want to know what's going on in their communities. Sometimes, even if it's bad, they want to kind of heads up, and um, I definitely try to give them that.
And Ryan, one thing I can definitely vouch for and say, as long as I've been watching Breaking News 989, I've never saw anybody say, Ryan, you're a liar. Ryan, that's not true. Ryan, why did you put that up there? You know that's not true. I never hear that or see that. Now they just may be upset that it's there, but as
Yeah,
far as your credibility, like you be on point. You be on
yeah,
point, and I'm definitely proud of that just as well. You've reported on some of people that I've known, some people that I didn't know, um, people that my friends may know, and then they call me, girl, did you see what Ryan posted? Hold on, let me go see. Let me go see. So when I tell you, like, people be on Breaking News 989 and they love it. They love it. Like I had people tell me, don't forget to tag me the day that he come out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I tag you, I'll make sure I tag you. But Ryan, another question, because we're gonna play some videos just as
Mhm.
well. But
okay.
another question, out of all the cases that you have put on your platform, is there any cases that actually sticks out to you that you can't forget about? Like it just it constantly on your mind, or even if it's not constantly on your mind, when somebody asks a question like this, it comes right to your head like that.
Yeah, I could say one in particular. There was a recent baby that was shot, and I didn't actually know that a child got shot until afterwards. So I was live on the scene. I usually get out of my car, but I don't know, something kind of, I always got the intuition to something. So I recorded in my car live, and I didn't actually find out a child had got shot until about an hour later. Because, like I said, I don't always catch everything right away, or the information isn't out there. And being I'm a dad myself. I got 3 daughters myself. They're all younger. It was sad because that kid had nothing to do with what was going on, and I see
Was
it
that the
happen a lot.
1 year old?
It was, yes.
Okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Yep. So, like I said, I found out afterwards, and then it just kind of, I felt, like for that person and their family because, obviously it was, somebody made a bad choice, and I don't know what exactly happened, but, a tragically, a 1-year old got, murdered from that. And, that's sad because, these, no murder should happen, but especially like a lot of people that don't have anything to do with the situation, I think
Mhm.
even makes it worse.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that one. And we're gonna play a few clips tonight because Ryan, that is something that I do over here on Peachy Tea Time. If we don't have a family on, I show news broadcasts and clips from all over, and we just
Okay.
give our commentary on it. So I do have a few of those to play.
Okay.
But I do have another question. I got plenty of questions for you. I
That's
didn't write
fine.
no questions down at all. These are just questions that come off the top of my head that been watching you and I just been wanting to ask. So a lot of those questions is coming from that. Um, But one of the questions are, when you have those people that are angry, you know, for those that don't know, Ryan don't show his face that often. Okay, like I do on PGT time. Like whenever I do a show, you gonna see me. Hello, hello, hello. But Ryan don't do that a lot. But Ryan watches his page. I tell you that much because sometimes when they do come at him, Ryan, he's very nice and he's pleasant with it, and he just lets people know this is what he does. But Ryan, when you have those type of people that are angry with you because you posted a story, how does that make you feel inside?
Um, I learned to not let it bother me, but I don't like when people try to make it seem like I sway one way.
Hmm.
Like I don't I don't create, the situations what happen. I just report on them. So, I kind of hate when like people, I guess, target me in a way.
Hmm.
Just saying like I said a certain thing, or, I just post, what is going on. And, I understand that I've learned from some of the mainstream medias that I can't, I don't take sides. I might have an opinion, but I don't point something a certain direction. I put it out there, and it's the information you can take, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm going to the left or the right. I want to provide it out there, and then people can be mad or not mad. I mean, there've been a lot of cases that I posted, or situations that I posted that have upset people, but I think sometimes they take it out on me when they're just upset about the situation, and I feel them. I would be just the same way for them if something like that happened to me. So I completely agree with how people feel, and
Hmm.
I try to you know understand from it. I
Exactly.
I unfortunately I've been there when people have been murdered. They're still there, and I don't take videos of that. I don't take pictures of that. I respect the families enough to not want them to see it, let alone anybody that doesn't know them. So I'm just sometimes I'm there pretty quickly. There was a scenario just recently, actually, where I knew there was a party going on in Saginaw. There was a couple different parties for the different sides, like west side, east side, north side,
Hmm.
south side. I was actually in the area when shots came out, so there was multiple shots. Well, two people ended up getting shot. Well, actually, three. One person died, and two others got shot. I ended up going towards that area, and two people asked me if I could take them to the hospital because they were shot. And
Wow.
my, you know, good, I guess, heart, you guys could say, uh, I took them there. I mean, I didn't know these people, and I want to be a good person. I would hope anybody would, but I
Exactly.
wanted to, if I could save somebody's life, even though I had nothing to do with me, I'm gonna definitely do what I got to do. I was there before the police were there. I was before MMR was there, so it was definitely a quick scenario of what to do. But
Wow.
my car became a crime scene at the hospital. They wouldn't even let me take my car. So yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I have a
Um,
question. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question. So,
Go ahead.
considering that you don't show your face, was that something that you started out doing, or is it just something that just kind of evolved over a period of time, or you just chose that's not what you wanted to do to be seen on camera?
It's not that I choose it. I'm usually like showing people what's going on. So my perception is like I don't need to show myself. I don't need to be like, "Hey, I'm Ryan." People know who I am. I don't know if everybody does, but I would say a good portion of everybody does know who I am. So to me, it's more important. I feel like to to show them what's going on than to get on there and just, try to explain things. So sometimes I do get on camera, but I would say it's pretty rare. I maybe out of 1,000 videos, I probably have went on camera a couple dozen times. It's not that I
Mhm.
chose it, I just feel like it's not as important.
I agree. I agree 100%. We're gonna go ahead and get into a video, okay? And then after we go into the video, you all, we will be going down Mr. Ryan's Facebook page so that y'all can see some of the things that Ryan does out here in these streets. Okay. Now, Ryan, the one of the videos that I wanted to play tonight was the Galveston, Texas. Because one thing about me, I cover everywhere in the United States. And one of the stories that has rocked, I'm gonna have to say it like that, rocked the nation is the young lady, Charlotte. I don't even know if you heard about this, but the young girl that was 16 years old that has killed her mother. Beautiful young ladies, both of them. The mother, I think, was like 34 years old. And it's just a horrible, horrible, horrible situation. No one knows the reason why. They just know that an argument must have occurred. And the 16-year-old daughter basically shot the mom several times. I think one of the neighbors said it was like 5 shots that she heard. But these were two young ladies, the mom and daughter Ryan, that would make TikTok videos together. And
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna try to see if I can find that TikTok video and play it for y'all just as well. But here's the news broadcast, and when we come back, y'all, we're gonna give our commentary on it. Here we go.
Tonight at 9, loved ones are speaking out after Galveston police say a mother was shot and killed. Authorities say, by her daughter. Fox 26's Leslie Delaspore spoke with the family about how they're processing the pain.
A 16-year-old is now in custody facing murder charges, according to Galveston police, who say she allegedly shot and killed her mother, 34-year-old Tia Moya Moore. One family member told me she's not only heartbroken, but confused.
The last couple of days, I've been feeling like I'm losing my mind. I was questioning, like, why? Why would you do this to your own mama? I just can't believe she's gone, for real.
When you got the news,
I was devastated. Devastated. Didn't want to believe it. Tia will give you the shirt literally off of her back. Tia loved her kids, would do anything for her kids. She was very spiritual, very into God, changed her life around for God. I just want to know what really, what caused for that to get to this point to where you had to take your own mama's life.
Galveston police say just before 8, they responded here to Avenue Q, where they found the 34-year-old down on her porch with multiple gunshot wounds.
Suspect, it was reported at the time by witnesses that the suspect had fled the scene. While the location in the 5100 block of Avenue Q was an ongoing crime scene, at some point while investigators were there and performing their investigative duties, the suspect came back up on location, and she was taken into custody at that time.
Alicia tells me the family is processing this loss, including Tia Moya's other 4 children, who are now without a big sister and a mom.
If a child is troubled, then a child is troubled. You can only help them so much. I was so mad at first, but as I got to talking to people and actually just thinking about what might have really happened, or mental health is real. It's gonna take me a lifetime to get over this.
Galveston police say the 16-year-old is in custody without bond. Reporting in Galveston, Leslie Delaspore, Fox 26 News.
All right. Before anyone says anything, okay? Before anyone says anything, I want to play. I found the video. So I want to play the video. And everyone that knows me knows that if you really, really know me, I always tell people, be mindful of the things that you speak. that comes out of your mouth. Even with these TikTok videos, you know, be mindful of what you are doing out here on social media or just in your life in general. Here go the video, and it was just a little small clip, but just listen to the things that they're saying. I'm gonna play it twice. This is the daughter that did this to her mom, but I think this was older video. Here we go.
As soon as I come through, I let that chopper off. Pow! Pow! That's not a chopper sound. I'm sorry. As soon as I come through, I kill everybody. We killing one person. No, we kill everybody. When I'm in the club, I make it rain. I'm gonna paint that. No, we not.
Mother of the woman who died told me over the phone that she heard.
As I come through, I let that chopper off. Pow! Pow! That's not a chopper sound. I'm sorry. As soon as I come through, I kill everybody. We killing one person. No, we kill everybody. When I'm in the club, I make it rain. I'm gonna paint that. No, we not.
Mother.
That was a lot. That was a lot. How y'all feeling about this right about now? Anybody, somebody, say something. Look, somebody, counselor lady.
It's a sad, I mean, it's just a sad story. And I think it's more of what we see now in society, which is a sad thing altogether. And it's sad that it's so typical. I think that that's the bigger thing, that it's just so typical. But, a family that's lost two people who, truly are needed to them. And we don't know the circumstances, don't know, their relationship. So can't really speak on, anything other than it's just a tragic situation that's taking
Yes.
place. And, and as the lady said, and I don't know if this is the case, but in any case, mental health is real.
It is. It is. Jason, what do you have to say about the video that we just saw?
It's culture is what it is now. I think that when you ask that question, you ask me about the dancing and all that kind of stuff.
Because my thing is this: if I would have known none of this had happened, and I just would have been scrolling, and I would have saw that.
Been cute.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I would have been like, "Oh, look at mama and daughter, doing something together." I wouldn't have looked at it that it was just so bad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But now
Is that the
occurred.
look that you have now? You look at it as though that's a bad that.
Yes, I do. Because of the words from the video. Of course, that's not them talking, but just the words from the video, knowing that one person was killed. You see what I'm saying? A gun was used, So yeah, that's my theory on it. Just
Yeah,
looking
I
at
think
it
that's
that
just
way.
I think that's more ironic than anything.
Mhm.
What I feel though and think is I'm gonna take it a step deeper, right? And say it's more so the line of relationships, right? Like to me, then that will say that video is showcasing something that's not true, right?
That they
Mm.
had a relationship, because it would seem, if you would look at it that way from the beginning, you would think, oh, they have a relationship to
That
be
part.
able to have TikTok dances. And as teenagers, teenagers don't like to dance with their parents. So at least
That
you
part.
would
That
assume that they
part.
had some kind of bond to even get to that point.
That's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking. There we go, counselor lady. That's where I'm
Yes.
looking at it at.
And now these are her children. She was a mother of 5. And that's why I say that the video must have been from a while ago, because the young lady with the long black hair, that's the daughter, and she was the oldest. Um so not only did the other 4 children lose their mom, they also lost their big sister just as well.
Which was probably mom number 2. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's the problem that, like, not problem, but that's some of the things that discourse that we run into is when, children are having children. So now we're looking at, a 32-year-old and a 17-year-old. You feel me? Like,
I
those
think she
numbers
was
don't
34
supposed to
or
work
something
like
like that.
that. You dig?
Yeah.
And now you still have other kids in between, you know what I'm saying, after that. So it's two moms, it's two best friends taking, you know,
They grew
care of
up
children.
together.
Yeah.
They grew up together.
So
Exactly.
so when it's a disagreement, it ain't a disagreement between mother and daughter. It's a disagreement to homies.
Women.
Yeah. Women.
Exactly.
There you go.
To
Facts.
women.
Facts.
So, Mr. Ryan, what do you think about something like this
I think
occurring?
that's a tragic situation too, and I
Hmm.
feel like too that a lot of mental health is needed out there, and
Yes.
I think people are so scared to post that they need help because I do it a lot, and I've covered a lot of tragic situations where it was mental health involved, and people I think are scared to reach out because it's such a touchy subject that people are just scared to say, "Hey, I need help. I need, uh, I have things going on," and we make it so you can't reach out. You're scared to ask for help because you might be labeled a certain way, or you might be looked at differently, and people are scared when they really need help. That we really need to put it out there that people shouldn't be scared to ask for help, shouldn't be scared to say, hey, I'm not having a good day today. And I feel like that would help so many other people not be afraid to, you know, figure out what's going on in their life. And it could be we don't know the scenario, what happened up to that, but there's so many things that could have happened that could have prevented that. And it's such a tragic, sad event.
It is. It definitely is. So we definitely want to pray for the family and everything. As you can see, the family is definitely having a hard time putting everything together why this occurred. Again, the siblings. My heart goes out to the siblings as well. Because now, like Charlotte and Jason said, she could have been the mom, the second mom to them
Right.
you know so my heart definitely goes out to them just as well, so we will definitely keep them in our prayers. All right, Ryan, we are about to go to your page. There was something on your page, okay, that I definitely wanted to discuss. I wanted you to give us more information on it,
Okay.
but it also was the comment. It was a comment that was made um, in the chat, and we're going to discuss that as well. So let's go ahead and bring it up. Unsolved Saginaw, the murder of Saginaw Doe. So I'm assuming Doe is like a John Doe.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about this flyer alone, and then we'll go into the chat.
So this was an unsolved murder that it's probably one of the oldest that I have ever seen. I want to say it happened, I think, in the 1980s,
Okay.
and there hasn't really been a lot of information released besides what was put out there. They finally did, I believe, do a DNA, and they didn't have any matches. It was funded by I think, a company called, can't think what the name of it was, but it was a pretty. I guess it kind of hit me a little because for how long ago it happened and no family has ever said anything, it kind of always stuck with me. So I've shared this for quite a while, ever since I started my page, and this was something recently came up where they're going to go over, I guess I guess everything that they know about, and just been kind of a big question mark as to who this person is, where they were from, and there hasn't really been any positive information as to clues leading to what happened, exactly. And it's probably one of the ones that I've noticed that just kind of hasn't went anywhere. And I don't know, you know, if it'll ever get solved, but it definitely. it's one that I would hope gets solved, or they find at least the family to this person, because I don't know how somebody can't be missing for 40 some years and none of the families has ever said anything.
Exactly. Now, it says the Castle Museum of Saginaw County History. What happened to Saginaw Doe? Unidentified, unsolved, but not forgotten. Our Castle Cold case crew is taking a look at this unsolved Saginaw case and 1980s city history in this fascinating hashtag History After Hours event next Thursday, September 18th at 5:30 p.m. Stop in and share your theory of the case, which is tomorrow. Which is tomorrow at 5:30. Join historian Dr. Catherine Ellison for this intimate look at the unsolved 1988 murder of a young, unidentified Black man on Saginaw's east side. The discussion will cover known details of the crime, historical information about Saginaw in the 1980s, and case theories. Thursday, September 18th, 5:30 p.m. Everybody that's watching, if you are in Saginaw or in the nearby city, please, please, please show up and show out. Please do so. Because at the end of the day, no matter how we look at it, this could be your child. So please show up and show out. So,
I think
Ryan,
that's a great thing, though. I
I
mean,
do
just keeping
too.
someone's name alive, regardless of whether they have a name or not. It's still,
Mhm.
and the fact that to bring that many people out, or to even have conversation about someone who's unknown, is a blessing within itself.
Exactly. Now, the comments. And we're just going to go over this one comment. Um, I don't know if I know this person or not. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if she follows Peachy Tea Time or not. I have no idea. She may not. We know she follow breaking news 99, but we don't know if she follow Peachy Tea Time. So at the end of the day, we're gonna me, Charlotte, Ryan, Jason, please, we must be respectful to what I'm finna read to you and to Miss Stacy Brandon. Have to be respectful. This is what it says. Okay, cold cases. Help me with my son case. I've been asking 16 years. Now, what the hell? I'm mad. You showing murders 20, 30, years ago, I'll say. Even longer. What about my child? And then she says, Heather Stewart. I know that, but so it must have been something that was written, something that was shown in between. But she said, I know that, but I'm saying 20, 30, 40 years ago, that's somebody's child. And mine's is only 16 years old. And it feel like yesterday. So basically, how I'm taking that is help me find a man. Mine was just 16 years ago. This young man was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Why can't mine come up first before theirs? So that's how I'm looking at her message. So before myself, before Jason, before Ryan give our opinion on it, we gotta go to the counselor lady. We gotta go because this is what you specialize in, Charlotte. You are a counselor lady. So what do you feel? How do you
Grief,
take this?
that's grief. Grief has no date and time that it ends. It doesn't, and especially I've never lost a child. I don't, I that I hear grief coming out of that, and that is, and it's a cry for help. I think it could have been worded a little differently, but grief comes in anger, it comes in depression, it shows up in a whole bunch of different ways. And so
Mhm.
how someone expresses it, we can't say. But to have some empathy for her, to know, and to hear her beyond her words, to hear her and know that she truly wants some help. She's asking and begging for help. And and possibly again, here we are, we're talking about it. So hopefully some other people in Saginaw have seen it and might reach out to her too and
Yes.
get some understanding. You just never know. And again, what did they say? A closed mouth never gets fed. So
Exactly.
hmm.
Yep. Yep. All right. Jason, I'm going to pull you up next because I want all of us to give our opinion on that. Because maybe something that we can say that we say, because I'm sure whoever this is going to get back to them in Saginaw.
I don't think it's
They may
much.
not be watching right now, but
Right.
it's going to get back to them.
I don't think it's much to say. I think there's purpose in what's being said. It's not taken away from what's being said on someone else's account, but it's like, yo, like, yeah, what about me? Mine isn't 20 years old. Mine is 16, 10, and no one's still looking into it. No one said anything to me. And this is just a way for for someone to get visibility as well.
Exactly.
It's like, because probably the well is run dry, right? They probably have came back to him and was like, yeah, we can't find anything. There isn't much that we can help with. And she's like, well, this is 20 years old and y'all just figured it out. So why isn't no one continuing to search for mine? Please, that's all I'm looking for. So it can get misconstrued, but I just believe that it's a perfect cry out to say, hey, I don't want nobody to give up on me either. So if you got the resources to find something that's 20 years old, you got the resources to find something that's 16.
All right. Mr. Ryan, you up next.
Yeah, I
What do
didn't
you
see
feel
the
about that
comment.
comment?
I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of comments just
Mhm.
because I it's probably better I don't read a lot and there's so many. But now that you brought it up, I feel like a lot of people want closure. They've been through very tragic situations, and I could only imagine if it was their son or daughter or family member. I mean, they feel like they're not getting what they want, which is closure. They want to find out who did, whatever to their family member, and they definitely deserve it. And um, I don't know what the lack of it is, but I know, you know, you can't solve all the puzzles. It's a puzzle piece that they have to put everything together, and sometimes I don't know if it's lack of resources or if there's just not enough clues. you know th- I don't know. I don't work with the police, so I don't know how even a crime scene would start, but I could only imagine it probably takes a long time to put everything together. And these people, you know they're dealing with it, their emotions, so they want to get it solved right away. And you know they're probably just they wanted to take that burden off their shoulders.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. It's my turn. It's my turn. And y'all know how I get. It's my turn. Okay, so this is how I feel. And it's for everybody. Not just for Saginaw, not just for Stacey Brandon. Stacey Brandon, if you want to come on the show, reach out to me. Okay, Stacey Brandon, reach out to me and bring you on the show. Okay, now we got that out the way. Because some people be feeling like just because it's 10, 15, 16, 20 years from now, oh, we can't come on PGT time. She only do stuff that's current. No, my show is for everybody. I don't care how long ago it's been. Please reach out to me, Jason, Miss Charlotte, and y'all come on PGT time. Okay, I want to make sure I make that clear. But this is what I have to say. I understand there's a lot of people out here killing folks. I get it. But at the same time, I don't care. This is just how I feel. When we pay our taxes and we live in a state, we live in a city, if something has happened to my child by the hands of the streets, I feel like I need to know and I need some type of closure. 9 times out of 10, these streets be talking. Ryan, you know, I'm from Saginaw, just like you from Saginaw. The streets be talking. But a lot of times, it's just from what the police and stuff say, it's not enough information. It's not enough evidence to make it stick, you know. But when you have everybody in the community saying the same thing, the same person, stuff like that, it's hard to accept. To hear the words, I'm sorry, we haven't gotten anything yet. 16 years is a long time. 20, 30, 40 years is a long time. So, Stacey Brandon, I see where you're coming from, baby. I promise you, I see where you're coming from. Because again, 16 years is a very, very long time. And when I see that you're working on the case 20, 30, 40 years, but ain't nobody calling my phone telling me that they attempted to reopen my case, or we even did this over here, or we did that over there. You're not hearing nothing. And Ryan, that's the issue. And I can speak for people in Saginaw. I have friends in Saginaw that lost their kids, and they still haven't got any answers. And there's nothing that Ryan can do, and there's nothing that I can do. But what we can do, though, is keep bringing these stories and keep putting it out there. So to Stacy, whenever you see this, when you see stuff like that going on, keep pressing the issue. Keep saying something. Don't be quiet, because everybody needs some type of closure when it comes to them losing a child, or losing a mom or a dad, or losing somebody to gun violence or domestic violence. All right? So I wanted to make sure I said that.
And also,
Take over, Jason.
even if she's not listening to this, just a thought, or someone can have her show up tomorrow, and whoever those people are, that the cold case people who are looking into this, maybe you can
Mhm.
get someone's information and they can help you with your search for your loved one. I mean, I think that we look at it, and I know we express ourselves, but then also God gives us things so that we can put two and two together and hopefully come up with four, so this might be another avenue or another way, Miss Stacy, that you can kind of find and get some closure for yourself. Never know who might be there, who might be interested in your case, or you can talk to someone and they can give you some leads, or somebody else to
Yes.
talk to, because we know, unfortunately, law enforcement, they see these things every day. And I think that's a little bit about what you wanted me to talk about, as far as you and Ryan. They see these things every day, and unless it's you, the empathy is, I'm not saying it's not there, but they've got so many cases and so
Mhm.
many other things, like, and unfortunately there are cases, just like with anything else, that take a back seat, or don't get looked into as much as other things. And so we don't have the resources in our community a lot of times to be able to go and get private investigators or other pieces of the puzzle that might be able to come up. So this might be another avenue or way, if you show up on tomorrow night and go out there with your t-shirt on, and have someone, give out some flyers about your loved one. Not only Miss Stacy, whomever else whose case might be a cold case and no one's looking into it. This might be another way for you to be able to, get your case shown.
Exactly. Exactly. Charlotte, I agree with you 100%. And I thank you so, so much, for giving your opinion on that. Um, I gotta say, it's not enough police officers, it's not enough detectives, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that a lot of people that lost someone, they sometimes forget that part. There's so many deaths, so many people getting killed, but it's not enough detectives and police officers to cover everybody, or to make sure that they got their own case. And I gotta take care of this case. You may get a case today and then get 5 of them tomorrow. What you supposed to do with the one that you just got today? And then the day after that, you got 5 more. So I'm sure it's hard for them. I'm sure it is. But again, they got to do better. They gotta do better. I don't know how. That's why it's not my job. Look at Jason. Jason shaking his head. Nope, it ain't our job. It's like we don't have the answer. We just know that somebody got to do better. Ain't that right, Jason?
Absolutely, they do, man, and they're trying, and I get it, they are, and that's where that's where Ryan comes in. He showcases it. So this is for everybody. This ain't just for anyone, right? Anybody can see what's going on in the community, and we can stand up for that. We can help with that. We can build, communities and committees that can help structure a little bit better. So, the foundation is strong. If we rely on the police to always do everything, we're gonna be always waiting and not have any backup. But if we start,
Exactly.
policing the community ourselves like we used to,
Yeah.
who remember?
Say
Who
that
remember?
again.
Who remember when we used to walk down the block and you see the one sign that was like right next to the stop sign that said, "This block is
Community.
right."
The
People
neighborhood
watch. What it neighborhood
Thank
watch?
you. This
Yes.
has a right. This is a neighborhood watch community.
Yep.
Meaning that
I
everybody in
knew
this neighborhood is watching each other. And
walking
then
home
once a
from
month in the
school.
summer, you have a block
Mm-hmm.
party. You shut off
Yep.
both ends of the block. Can't nobody drive down it. Some houses got some barbecue going, kids running around. You got the fire extinguisher. The fire department came over and opened up the fire, you know what I'm saying? The fire
The
hose so
hydrant.
we could, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
But
don't
we
see that
Mm-hmm.
knew
much
each
often.
other. You knew your neighbors at
You
that
know your
point in
neighbors.
life too.
Well, for me and Ryan, Ryan, I am in Atlanta right now, but I'm still all the way Saginaw, just like Jason. I'm sure he's still all the way Detroit. Don't y'all go to no black parties. We don't have no black parties right now. Black parties is not what's the right thing to do no more. Okay, it is so unfortunate. But these block parties is getting shot up now. You know what I'm saying? I went home to visit. I went to Saginaw to visit, and it was a block party. And I was there. But Ryan, when I tell you I was scared shitless, explicit language and also allegedly, but that's not allegedly. I was very afraid at the block party, But let it have been 30 years ago. I'm telling my age. We're going to stop at 30. Let it have been 30 years ago. I would have been the first one at the block party talking about, hey, let somebody get the shooting. You duck, you dodge. Y'all got them out the party? Okay, let's go ahead and keep the party going. That's how I was. I was one of those teenagers where became normal to me. All the shooting, all the having to run and hide, it all became normal to me. I just wanted to keep the party going. And we did that. But you better believe we had to dodge a lot, a lot, a lot. So I'm sorry, I hear Chewy, my husband coming back through the door. But I want to show one more video. One more clip from Ryan. Let me see. I wish Poolie would hurry up and come through the door. Because ain't no sense in me telling him to be quiet because he ain't going to be quiet. Jason, you know that.
Yeah,
He's not going
facts,
to be quiet.
facts.
Okay. This right here. Ryan, can you see that? Let me see if I can make it because I know Ryan is on his phone right now. I'm trying to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Give me 1 second. Okay. There you go. It should be getting bigger now. Oops, not her. Let me go down some more. Right here. This person right here. Okay, yeah, y'all should be able to see it. Ryan, do you remember putting this video up? This picture up? Don't worry about it. I'm finna read it to you.
Okay.
It says emotions high in court as video shows man shot 16 times leaving Buena Vista party. Saginaw, Michigan. Emotions simmered at a fever pitch in a Saginaw County courtroom as video played of a man being shot more than a dozen times as he left an after hours club. It's just wrong, said one weeping woman as she stood and left the courtroom during the preliminary examination of Marcellus T. Emerson, 39 years old. It's like they're getting younger and younger, and I guess we're just getting older and older. I don't know. But I'm from Buena Vista. I went to BV. I am a BV native. Shout out to BV, BV for life. Blue heart, blue heart. But when I tell you this was so devastating to me to hear this, it was a BV party, I do believe, when this occurred. They left. It was a BV big old thing that they had, and then they left from there, went somewhere else, and then that's when the young man got shot. Um, Ryan, what do you do to keep up with these stories? Like the
It's
updates.
hard. I'll be honest. It's definitely not easy. I always tell myself I'm gonna take a day off and take a break, but then something always is going on. Unfortunately, so I just keep up with it. I guess. Some part of me almost hopes like sometimes when I don't hear shootings or shots fired, I'm like, I'm glad Saginaw made it another day or another week. And I hope positive for our city. I hope I don't have to report any shootings. It just I don't know. It's kind of tragic. I think we started off this year. I think the first day I want to say of 2025 there was a shooting. So I don't know. Just never know. I don't know. Why these shootings happen. I don't know what leads up to them. I just always hope for the best, but you know, I guess it can only get better. Just hope. I guess.
I think she went away for a minute, but I do want to ask because and I know she alluded to this when we first got started. So what do you do for your sanity? How do you release? What do you do to be able to get away, from not being on the spot all the time? What is your peace that you find?
My kids.
Okay.
So yeah, like when I get them on the weekends, we kind of
That's
always doing something fun or we
mhm.
got something going on. So I kind of just get away from it all, you know, and kind of just tune into them more or less. And that does change, the vibes. I like to also cover a lot of community events. If I see like something community wise going on, I like to go to them because I always know there's always something good going on. I've never been at a community event where there's something tragic happening. So if I see something positive, I go to it, and there's always usually kids happy or people happy, and something positive. So that definitely that brings up the positive vibes.
Do you think that's and how long? What's the number of years now? Because I think you said 2019 was when you first started this job. Where you're
No, actually, I've only been doing Breaking News 989 for a little over a year.
okay, okay.
So,
So
yeah,
do you think that
yeah,
your empathy has changed? Do you think that because you see it so much, do you think that your level of shock value has changed? I'll put it like that. Like nothing
yeah,
shocks you anymore.
yeah. So, kind of, you actually hit something when you said it. When you said the police are investigating these, situations, they're just kind of so used to it that it really, kind of like me, it doesn't surprise me.
Hmm.
It's almost like acceptable, even though you don't want to accept, tragic things happening, you almost do.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm with you, Ryan. Both of us from Saginaw. I've claimed Saginaw since day one. Shout out to Cassandra. Hey, Cassandra. Cassandra was on the show last Wednesday. I meant to say that. She's been watching it for a while now. But this is the norm for me. And I hate that it becomes the norm for the generations after me, but it is truly the norm for me. When I got married, I was living here in Georgia, but I got married in Saginaw. We went back to come get married, and my biggest fear at the time was flying because I never flew before, before I got married. But we had to fly to come back home.
I never
And
have either.
so we flew. You never flew?
No, not yet. I was gonna fly and I missed both my flights, so I was
Only need
happy.
to do it on purpose.
Sounds that way. Hmm.
But yes, when I tell you, I was so afraid. This was back in 2007. Now I fly anyway. I prefer to fly. But I was so afraid that it took over the fear of me coming back home. So I come
Yeah,
back home. It's time for getting ready. It's almost time for me to get married. We was there for a whole week before the wedding because we had to get everything together and everything. And my homegirl like, come on, let's go riding. You know, right, that's all we can do in Saginaw, just go riding.
right, right.
So I'm like, okay, girl, let's go riding. We go riding.
There's not much
We
to
went,
do here.
exactly, it's not that
There
much to
really
do.
isn't.
So we went up there to where the Crown Plaza used to be.
Okay.
Okay, that's where we was at. And if you remember where the Crown Plaza was, it was a one-way in, one-way out situation. We go in, we see all our peoples up there. We got word that they was all gonna be up there and everything. Now, my husband told me, don't go nowhere. We getting married in a couple days. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and ride out with my homegirl right quick. We go up there. We went all the way around the little circle thing. As we going around, we saying, hey, hey, how y'all doing? Hey. I mean, we so excited. And right when we got to the end where you get ready to go out, it's like two cars in front of us. So literally, we really can't really move to go out unless they go out of the parking spot. Baby, all I know, I saw a whole group of dudes that I went to school with. And I'm like, hey, y'all, what's going on? We all saying, hey, give a hug. All of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. I mean, just shot after shot after shot after shot. We get back in the car. I think we was already in the car, and we were just saying hi to them from the inside the car. But we ended up parking the car. How we was able to park, I don't know, because we could not get out. Because the people that was in front of us wouldn't move either. So we goes and park. And Ryan, when I tell you, I guess because my mind, sometimes your mind will play tricks on you. And I'm just so, this was the norm to me. I still got out scared. I got out the car. My friend got out the car. And we took off running. But I fell twice.
What
Jay
were you doing?
fell once, got up, and fell again. I swear to God, I thought I was shot. I thought I was shot. I swear to
Oh
God,
man.
I thought I was shot. And then the second time after I get up and start running, we decide to go and run and hide behind some pine trees. I don't know if y'all know what pine trees are, but a pine tree is not gonna block
They
me
were
from
screaming.
you know. But all we kept hearing was the gunshot, the gunshot, the gunshot. So with that being said, it's like this is the norm for me. Even though when I come home, I do be scared, Ryan. I do.
Yeah.
When it's time for me to get on that plane and I know I'm coming home, I be nervous because
Mm.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it back home because it's so much crime. So many innocent bystanders. Not because it's Tennille and I'm gonna go kill Tennille. No, 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 nothing like that. It's just the innocent bystander situation. You could be anywhere and something happened to you and it's not even for you. So
Yeah. I
exactly.
agree.
Exactly. So Ryan, when I tell you I applaud you for what you're doing, being there in the city, representing like no other. I don't do a lot of Saginaw clips or crime videos or anything like that with Saginaw because that's where I'm from. Because I still have family and everything there. So I don't do that much unless the family comes to me and say,
Yeah.
hey, can you cover this? Hey, can we come on the show? Stuff like that. That's the only reason why. But if I could do what you are doing and just make my platform strictly about Saginaw, baby, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. I would definitely do it in a heartbeat because that's my town, that's my
Yeah.
city, and I got love for my peoples there in Saginaw. And now, Ryan, I got love for you. So
Thank you. I love Saginaw too. I'll be honest. Saginaw, even with everything going on, I've been, to different states and pretty cool places. I always miss Saginaw. I like there's a
exactly,
lot of good people here, and Saginaw's my home. If I made $1 billion, I probably wouldn't even want to move. I just like Saginaw a lot. It's a good place.
exactly. Well, we have someone in the comments, Cassandra Barney. Hey, boo. She says, "Hello, everybody. I hope everybody have a good evening, and thank you, Mr. Ryan Lee, for looking out for the community. Very nice man. Once again, thank you, Miss Peachy, for coming to your show last week and listening to my testimony. I told you." I told you they love you, Ryan. They love you.
Thank you. I wish I could change the city so it was all better and positive, but things gotta change themselves. People gotta want to
Yeah,
change. So I hope and just wish our city would realize the hidden gem that people don't realize that we have.
exactly. Exactly. I agree. And we are going to end it on that note. Mr. Ryan said he really, really hopes our city, Saginaw, Michigan, can understand and realize that hidden gem, because it's a hidden gem in there. You best believe it.
Yep,
We all got something good to represent and do in the city. We just got to get that crime pushed out the way. And that's everywhere, not just in
yep,
Saginaw. It's everywhere. If
I
we can
agree.
start telling, snitching, whatever y'all want to call it, that's what we're going to have to do to get these people up out of here for the sane ones. The ones like us that just want to live, that want good for our children. But the ones that don't give a damn about us, that just want to create all this chaos and tragedy and make people cry and sad all the time, they need to get up out of here. We don't have time for them. We ain't got time for them. Like Jason and Ryan, both of them got 3 young girls. Both of them.
Yep,
I got a girl and a boy. Charlotte got a boy. So when I tell y'all, we just want the best for our children and for us. Because I'm telling you, I'm tired of going to Walmart having to look over my shoulder. At Walmart? I shouldn't have to look over my shoulder at Walmart. Shoot. Everything in there probably about 15, 20, $30. I did not have to lose my life over $30. Okay. So, but thank y'all so much for watching tonight. Ryan, it was amazing having you on here with me tonight and with Jason and with Miss Charlotte. My doors are always open. I would definitely love to have you back where we can go over just, some more of the news broadcasting clips and everything and just give our commentary on it. But truly, 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 I am thankful and honored to have you here on PGT Time. I
yep.
really,
Thanks
really
for having me.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, y'all, we are out of here. We are out of here. Again, thank y'all so much for joining. I will see y'all on Friday. I know y'all, some of y'all like, I'm so tired of her saying I see you on Friday, and then Friday comes, she don't even show up. I'm gonna be here this Friday. I'm gonna be here this Friday. I am. I am. I'm make sure I'm here. Even if for 10 minutes. I'm here. Jason, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, man. Keep doing what you're doing, Ryan. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on. Thank you for being part of the show, Miss Charlotte. It's good to see you.
Oui, oui. Oui, oui.
And I'm gonna definitely check out your channel too, and I want to see what you are doing. And definitely people don't realize it's a lot of hard work, but we'll just keep
It
doing what we're
is.
doing.
Thank you. We definitely gonna continue to do what we do. Um, it's not by mistake that we're doing what we do. I always tell people, Ryan, that I am on an assignment for God. This is what He wants me to do, and I am just following His path, doing what He asks of me. And when I tell you the reward that I get from it is amazing, but the biggest reward is helping these families and giving them a platform that they can come on and share their story and keep their loved one name alive. But the most important to me is spreading the awareness. That's it for me. I get to spread the awareness. So, and Ryan does too, baby. He is, baby. Ryan, you doing your thing. You doing your thing. You doing your thing. But thank you so much, you all. I'll see you all on Friday. Ryan, just give me a couple seconds while in this broadcast. I just
Okay.
want something that I have to say to you afterwards.
Okay.
Charlotte, Jason, I know y'all got to go, so y'all can go ahead and leave up out of here. But thank you all
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
Peace.
And y'all know what y'all
Have a
got to
great
do.
week. Be
Yes,
safe out there, everybody.
be
Yep,
safe.
you too. Have a good weekend.
So.
All right. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Got to listen to my babies.